Chapter 84. The Might of Tackling the Heavens. Two little brats, quickly say, "Where is that old bastard? Otherwise neither of you will be able to walk out of here today." The little girl drank with incomparable arrogance how powerful or oppressed everyone to retreat. Only the two brothers, Teng Yijian and Teng Yichang, were locked by her and were unable to dodge. They could only grit their teeth and resist. But the little girl's aura was too powerful. Teng Yijian and Teng Yichang, the brothers, gradually couldn't resist. Sweat dripped continuously on their faces, looking very strained. The crowd watching the battle outside the field was shocked. This suddenly came. The little girl was so powerful. Just with the momentum, will suppress the sword double G. I'm afraid that the imperial capital 4G is just like that. Just at this moment, an old man in black suddenly rushed out from amongst the crowd. Little girl, stop. This black-clothed old man was the same peak Jidan stage in Thayer powerhouse who had intercepted the little girl in the first place. And when he saw that the two brothers, the blade and sword twin Jedi, were in a crisis, he did not care about many things and blasted at the little girl with a palm. How dare he intervene in a young man's fight? This old man seeks death. The crowd was shocked and then cursed this old man for being shameless. In the great Tang cultivation world, there was an unwritten rule that the older generation of cultivation should not intervene in the young people's fights without permission. Otherwise they would be hunted down and killed by the entire great Tang cultivators. This rule was also to prevent someone from killing those geniuses before they grew up. Only then would the younger generation of the great Tang cultivation realm become stronger and stronger, and the great Tang cultivation realm become more and more prosperous. Old man, just in time. This young lady is waiting for you. When the little girl saw the black-clothed old man, she was not shocked, but rather delighted. He dropped his sword and double jinx, waved the coffin board, and greeted towards the black-clothed old man. The black coffin board immediately had a shocking demonic aura. A boundless demonic might enveloped the entire martial arts arena, and the heaven and earth became even dimmer. The crowd was shocked. What kind of magic treasure was this? It was so powerful. Could it be the legendary treasure weapon? HMPH. The black-clothed old man snorted coldly and blasted his palm towards the coffin board. Immediately the sky exploded, and the two huge forces collided, erupting into an unrivaled storm of terrifying energy. After a collision, the little girl and the old man in black were both sent flying out. The little girl looked towards the black-clothed old man in astonishment, her heart wondering, unable to figure out when this old guy had become so powerful that he could even resist the coffin board. Wasn't he beaten around by the coffin board last time? The old man in black seemed to have guessed the little girl's doubts and raised his palm, on which golden light flowed, but it was a layer of golden film. He laughed coldly. "Little girl, this is an extreme spiritual weapon. Although it is not as good as your treasure weapon, it is enough to deal with you." The crowd was shocked at his words. This was actually an extreme grade spirit weapon glove. With the strength of the black-clothed old man at the peak of the 9th level of the Jidan stage, he could completely utilize the power of this spirit weapon. On the contrary, the little girl was unable to utilize the full power of the coffin board and naturally fell behind. HMPH, a mere spirit weapon, dares to act recklessly. Let's see this young lady burst your balls. The little girl snorted coldly as she sniffed and raised the coffin board and smashed it over. A shocking demonic aura covered the sky. The boundless demonic might pressurized the crowd to the point that they couldn't breathe. The crowd looked dumbfounded. This girl's words were too fiery. "How do you look at it is like a little hooligan." The black-clothed old man was furious. He operated his spells and fought with the little girl. The two of them were powerful, and the aftershocks of their battle caused 7 young powerhouses not far away to avoid retreating. While the two of them were caught in the middle of the battle, the sword and sword duo G also took on the mad warrior Shen to G. Sword 1. 2 against 1 isn't fair. Nope. You have a split personality. It's 4 against 2. Huh, righto. then we are not taking advantage. Take advantage, then take advantage, Shen-Ji muttered to himself. He slowly drew the long sword behind him, and immediately a matchless sword momentum swept in, and the entire sky was in turmoil. The blade and sword double Jedi didn't dare to underestimate the situation. The two of them similarly drew their blades and swords, and with a matchless momentum, they met them. A shocking battle erupted. On the vast martial arts arena, the powerful chi raged, and the storm was more than just a storm. Even the sky was in turmoil. Even the earth was trembling. The battle between the 9 experts was so gorgeous and wonderful that people couldn't take their eyes off the ground. The 7 warriors of the Great Tang Dynasty and Kang Chon fought against each other, each displaying their own skills, each incomparably powerful. The little girl battled the black-clothed old man. The two of them were superbly strong, and the battle was even more exciting. The gazes of the crowd outside the arena flowed continuously, not knowing whose duel to watch, as each duel was so wonderful that they didn't want to let go of any of the gorgeous shots. In the northeast corner of the martial arts arena, Kang Chon was battling Thunderbolt, Maniac Thundercloud. Both sides were incomparably powerful. Each strike had a world-defying might, causing the space in all directions to tremble, and the earth underneath their feet was revealing an eye-popping crack. Heavenly tribulation, 9 heavenly divine thunder. Thundercloud shouted, and the sky was instantly filled with dark clouds, and within the thick clouds, there were flashes of intimidating thunder and lightning. A terrifying electric snake gulped more than just a few times, exuding a palpitating aura. Suddenly, a terrifying electric snake descended with a roar, blasting towards Kang Chon. It's a heavenly calamity. He was actually able to invoke a heavenly tribulation. The crowd watching the battle immediately exclaimed in shock, as they looked incredulously at the heavenly tribulation cloud in the sky. How powerful was the heavenly tribulation that it could be controlled by someone? This was too unbelievable. Nope. This isn't a heavenly tribulation. This is a pseudo-heavenly tribulation that he caused with his lightning spell. It's impossible for a true heavenly tribulation to be controlled. An older generation cultivator saw the cause and said calmly. The crowd suddenly dawned on them, but even so, they were incomparably shocked. This kind of tactic was too shocking and caused one's heart to palpitate. Kang Chon was also shocked. He didn't dare to fight hard. He struck out a hegemony fist, and then immediately dodged to the side to avoid this electric snake's attack. But what was shocking was that this electric snake seemed to have developed a spirit and was chasing after him. Worthy of being a berserker, Kang Chon knew that he couldn't dodge. He could only stop and fight. The thick true essence gushed out from his fist, and a wave of more than volatile energy stirred, and an unrivaled overbearing aura shot up into the clouds. Hegemony fist. Kang Chon roared lowly, his entire body dazzled with purple light, just like a purple god of war. His fist blasted towards the electric snake that attacked, and an explosive sound shook the heavens, and the earth around him snapped with hundreds of huge cracks. That electric snake was eventually blown out by Kang Chon, but he himself was also lightly traumatized, and at that moment, another electric snake began to attack. Kang Chon was instantly shocked. If this continued, he would definitely lose. No. How come the thunderclouds didn't take the opportunity to attack? Suddenly, Kang Chon discovered an important issue. The distant thundercloud did not take advantage of his injury to attack. Could it be? Kang Chon's eyes flashed with light. At this time, the electric snake descended once again, and he had to activate his overlord fist to blast it up. After shattering this electric snake, Kang Chon endured his injuries and once again swung his overlord fist towards Lei Yun to kill him. He had already discovered the weakness of the other party's move. At the time, when Lei Yun was performing his master stroke, he himself was unable to attack anyone else. At this time, only by attacking his main body could he crack the move. Otherwise, the heavenly thunder was endless. Whoever came in his place would be looking for death. Found it. It's a pity that you haven't stepped into the Jidan stage after all. In this battle, you will definitely lose. In the distance, when Lei Yun saw Kang Chon rushing, a strange smile suddenly appeared in his eyes, and the flying sword's asterisk 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 in his body came out and appeared under his feet. Then he stepped into the air and flew high into the sky. Kang Tian was stunned. He forgot that the other party was at the Jidan stage and could fly with his sword, while he had not yet broken through the Jidan stage and could not fly with his sword. The crowd watching the battle also discovered this problem, and there was a lot of chatter. Kang Chon obviously discovered the weakness of the 9 heavenly divine thunder, but unfortunately, he is not at the Jidan stage after all. He can only be a target from below. Unable to cause damage to the thunderclouds, he lost this battle with too much grudges. Someone shook his head and sighed. It's shameful for Lei Yun to act like this, someone said with disdain. Words can't be said like that. There is no moral theory on the battlefield. There is only you dying and me living. Lei Yun's clever use of his advantage just shows that he is not a reckless man who only knows how to fight. His intelligence is equally superb. Someone said from a neutral standpoint. People couldn't help but sigh. Kang Tian hadn't broken through the Jidan stage and couldn't deal with the enemy in the sky. This battle was doomed to fail, but it was too much of a defeat. Ha 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 ha. High in the sky, Lei Yun stepped on his flying sword and laughed. He looked down at the depressed Kang Chon below and said proudly, Kang Chon, I admit that your strength is enough to be included in the Great Tank 7. But you ultimately haven't stepped into the Jidan stage. You will definitely lose this battle. As his words fell, a terrifying electric snake landed with a roar, killing towards Kang Chon. Kang Chon blasted the electric snake with a punch. His body was shaken back dozens of steps. A trace of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth, but his gaze was incomparably radiant and dazzling. His blade eyes stared fiercely at the thunderclouds in the sky, and he said in a cold voice, Not bad, being able to take advantage of my weaknesses. You're not a reckless person. The rumors about you in the outside world are wrong. In the Great Tang cultivation world, regarding Lei Yun's rumors, those who knew him thought that he was arrogant and cocky. And when he fought straight to the death, never playing any tricks, and the rumors of being a reckless man were self-evident. But now, people realized that he was paralysing his opponents. In fact, to be able to be called a genius, not only was one's qualification extraordinary, one's intelligence also surpassed that of the average person. Admit defeat. I have no grudge against you. I won't kill you in this battle. When you break through the Jidan stage, I will give you the chance to fight again. Lei Yun was high above the heavens. Electricity flashed around him, a supreme thunder god who he said majestically to the heavens below. Thanks a lot, but I may not lose this battle. Kang Tian smiled coldly at his words. Then he transported the thick true essence in his body and engaged in a battle with Wu Gang. He still had such thick true essence left, thanks to Kang Tian hegemony blood's special physique. Lei Yun frowned and said in a cold voice, Since that's the case, don't blame me for making your loss too ugly. Saying that, he summoned an electric snake to slash at Kang Tian once again. But right at this moment, a sudden change occurred. The void near the thundercloud violently shook, and then an astonishingly huge palm, the size of a small mountain, broke through the air and grabbed the thundercloud. Thundercloud immediately shouted madly. Lightning flashed around him. A terrifying energy rushed at the huge palm that trapped him. But no matter how hard he tried, he was never able to get out of the giant palm's control. Hiss! What is that? What a huge palm! What kind of spell is this? Surprisingly so powerful. The crowd watching the battle immediately exclaimed in shock. Each one of them watched in shock as the huge palm in the sky grabbed the thunderclouds. As powerful, the madman was unable to get rid of the huge palm and was confined within it, unable to move. This is not a spell. This is a divine ability. Among the crowd, An older generation of cultivators exclaimed in shock. They had extraordinary insights and knew that spells alone could not exert such a powerful force, and that only legendary divine powers could possess such power. The crowd was shocked at the words, divine power. In the cultivation world, divine power is a cultivator's powerful means of attack. Almost all of them are monopolized by clans. It is very difficult for outside family cultivators to have divine power. That's why they have to worship the clans to cultivate. This is the means by which the clans rule the cultivation world. What exactly is this son's origin? Surprisingly, he would have such a powerful divine ability.